Some of your friends might be vegetarian. What are you going to make for them? Well, if you're making lasagna, why not make a vegetarian lasagna? It's actually very simple, and most of my lasagnas are vegetarian. I just don't make the meat sauce. Today we're going to make something called green lasagna, and we're going to use oven-ready lasagna noodles. Don't use anything but these. Vogue. They're absolutely fabulous. They work almost better than the other ones, and you don't have to boil them. They're incredible. We're going to use some pesto, which we're going to make from parsley and basil. Some ricotta, which you can make in the description below, or you can buy a nice quality one. Some mozzarella and some Bad Girl Randy pre-grated Parmesan. You're never supposed to do that, but I did it. And then we're going to have a layer of just greens. So let's get to work and make pesto. This is the messiest part of your whole assembly. Take some washed parsley. Cut it. Cut the stems off. I don't use pine nuts, and I personally do not use garlic. Okay, so I'm putting some parsley and some washed basil into my mixer thing. I'm overpacking it because that's what we always do here. Now you need liquid to process this. You're making a thick paste. You can make pesto out of anything. You can make pesto out of walnuts, which is a delicious thing they have at Buvette, which is so good. You can make pesto out of parsley. You can make pesto out of peas. So be creative, you can have fun with it. I'm gonna put a little bit of salt, which also kind of works as a grinder in a weird way. Okay. I'm gonna put some olive oil, a little bit of lemon juice. Nope. Hold on, I'm getting this stick. Look at these, aren't these beautiful? I got these from my dad, and it's Royal Crown Derby. These are so hard to find. Lynn and I tried to find, I have this weird number of them. So when I have a fancy dinner, I'm like, would anybody like coffee? Because I want people to have the pretty cups and not the regular cups. And it's always a great day when only 3 people ask for coffee, because then I can give them the good cups. Anyways, here's my processing stick, said the actress to the bishop. That's not a good one. So don't worry that it goes a little bit frothy or white. That's totally normal. It's air. I'm just putting this in to try and get it to move. That's delicious. So you see how I made that. I very simply put some greens in a thing, in a Vitamix, with some lemon juice and olive oil. And I made pesto. Now, things you can add. You can throw in a clove of garlic. Absolutely. You can throw in pine nuts. You can try making it in a mortar and pestle, which actually is I'd love to try to do that. You can put in a little Parmesan, but we're not gonna do that because we're gonna put Parmesan in our lasagna. This is ricotta. I'm gonna crack an egg in here and mix that around. I'm gonna put a little pepper and salt. And I'm now going to slice some mozzarella. Slice these fairly thin, and then I'm going to slice them into ribbons. We're going to make a pretty small lasagna. You can make lasagnas any size. You know, you can fudge these into any shape you want, except round. Not unless round's funny. Okay, I'm just going to cut this into narrow strips, stack them up. Okay, so I have some crumbled mozzarella, some naughty pre-grated, and I have some greens. These are organic power greens. These are like kind of my favorite. Baby chard, kale, and spinach. So it's like beautiful little baby spinach, little kales, and little Swiss chards. And we're gonna use that as a layer. Now, to be honest with you, I haven't made a green lasagna in quite some time, but we're gonna sort of do this intuitively. We need something wet on the bottom. I'm gonna put a little bit of pesto on the bottom, sort of painting the bottom with the pesto. Then I'm gonna put a little layer of this because it's quite moist. Pow! Noodles. I've noticed that these are a little bit too small, so I'm going to do one with a slight overlap, two like bricks, okay? And then the next layer, I'll do it the other way, long, short, long, you know what I mean? So that I'm filling up all the space. And now I'm going to do a layer of cheese, voila, and a layer of greens. And it's beautiful. Look at that. Come on. Let's do a layer of this. Don't be afraid of the greens moving and mixing in. It's fine. A little bit of pesto. Slight overlap. Just remember when you're seasoning your lasagna, the pesto is very intense. You don't want to over-season your ricotta or add a lot of salt because this is very concentrated and intense, this flavor. I'm sort of between haircuts. My hairdresser is a big fan of the show, and he always comments on whether my hair looks good or not. So Clyde, I'm in between haircuts. My friend Nicholas was in Provincetown, and he went over to a friend's house, and as he was walking to their house, he looked in the window and they were watching the show. So here's my shout out to Nicholas, who was very upset that I didn't give him a shout out. Hey! I'm gonna top it with some cheese, like this. And the very end, we're gonna use my naughty pre-grated Parmesan. Look at that. All right, I'm also gonna put pepper because it's beautiful and it gives it a good flavor. I would cook this for approximately 15 minutes with a covering and 15 minutes without, and then see where you're at. I suggest lining a baking tray with a piece of tin foil because lasagna tends to bubble over, even though this really doesn't look like it's going to bubble over. Whoa, look at that. So I took off the tin foil to let it sort of brown a little bit. It's puffy, tasty, and delicious. Green lasagna with pesto. It's different, it's interesting. It's not the normal lasagna they've had every night. It's got greens in it. You don't even have to make a salad, even though it's very nice with a sort of a light lemony salad. This is a delightful summer lasagna, or winter, but I'm saying it's gorgeous. Lasagna, why not? Bad girl Randy, pre-grated Parmesan. You're never supposed to do that, but I did it.